Hello children, let's start our next topic from the lesson gravitation, that is free fall. What do you mean by free fall? Whenever an object falls towards the earth under the influence of gravitational force of the earth alone, while falling down, no force other than gravitational force acts on the object. In that case, the object is said to be falling freely. Means we know that earth applies a gravitational force on all the objects. That is the reason why all the objects fall towards the earth. Whenever we throw a stone or something upward, it reaches to certain height, and after reaching certain height for a fraction of second it stops, and then again it starts falling towards the earth. When that object is falling towards the earth, only under the gravitational force of the earth, only under the influence of gravitational force of the earth, then the object is said to be falling freely. When the object is falling down, only the earth is applying a gravitational force on the object which is bringing it down. In that case children, it is possible only in case of ideal conditions. I mean to say by ideal condition is that there is no air resistance, there is no other frictional force also acting on the object when the object is falling towards the earth. How is that possible? That is possible only in the vacuum. Okay, so whenever an object falls towards the earth under the influence of gravitational force alone, then it is said to be falling freely. I hope it is clear from the definition. Free fall means whenever an object falls towards the earth under the influence of gravitational force of the earth alone, then the object is said to be falling freely. In case of freely falling object, there is no change in the direction of motion. As the object is coming down, it will keep coming down only, it will not go again upward. There won't be any change in the direction of motion, but there will be a change in the velocity. If there is at any point, if the change in velocity is taking place, that means there is an acceleration. This acceleration is caused or has taken place due to the gravitational force of the earth. That is why this acceleration is known as acceleration due to gravity. So, when the objects fall towards the earth, there is no change in the direction of motion of the objects, but there is a change in the magnitude of the velocity. And we also know that any change in the velocity involves acceleration, as this change in velocity, that is acceleration, has taken place due to the gravitational force of the earth. Therefore, it is known as acceleration due to gravity. It is represented by small g. In case of our previous topic, gravitational constant, we had read about this term. Gravitational constant is represented by capital letter G, whereas acceleration due to gravity is represented by small g. Now children, there is another question. What is the difference between capital G and small g? First point of difference is gravitational constant is known as, capital G is known as gravitational constant and small g is known as acceleration due to gravity. Second point of difference. The value of gravitational constant is 6.673 into 10 raised to the power minus 11. Whereas acceleration due to gravity on earth is always considered as 9.8. How we calculate that also I am going to tell you. Unit of gravitational constant is Newton meter square per kg square. And as this is acceleration, its unit is same as acceleration, that is meter per second square. These are the 3 points of differences between capital G and small g. Now again children, how we calculate the value of small g? We know that from Newton's second law of motion, F is equals to ma. A is what? Acceleration. Here in case of the objects which are falling vertically downwards, not horizontally but vertically downwards, in that case for acceleration we can write, in spite of writing A, we can write small g. That is also acceleration now due to gravity. That is also acceleration. So F is equals to mg. Whereas we also know that from universal law of gravitation, what we had found out, force of attraction between two objects is equal to g m into m upon d square, where g is capital G is gravitational constant, m is the mass of the object, first object, the second m is the mass of the second object, and upon d square, d is the distance between two objects, square of the distance between two objects. So in spite of writing, so I can write it like this also, or F, in spite of writing this F, I can put the value of this F. mg is equal to g m into m upon d square. Now m and m can be cancelled if the object is same. Small g that is equal to g m upon d square. Suppose children, if that object is on the earth, then how we calculate the value of this small g? Why I have taken it as 9.8? Because all the objects which are on the earth, they fall towards the earth at the rate of 9.8 meter per second square. How did I get this value? By putting the value of g, that is 6.673 into 10 raised to the power minus 11. Here second object is mass of the earth. Here d square is the radius of the earth square. Radius square. Whose radius? Earth's radius here. Because all the objects are present on the earth, near or on the earth. This is the formula. After putting all these values, we get the value of small g as 9.8 meter per second square. Now children, there is an activity. If we throw a stone and a paper of same size, suppose I have taken this 2 centimeter or 4 centimeter 4 centimeter square is the area of the paper and 4 centimeter square is the area of the stone. If I draw both these things from a building, which one is going to reach the earth first? Obviously you will say the stone is going to reach the earth first. What is the reason behind that? The reason, but just now I have said that all the objects fall towards the earth at the rate of 9.8 meter per second square. Yes? Then why in that case the stone reaches the earth first? In that case, if acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meter per second square, then all the objects should reach the earth at the same time only. But in this case, we have seen that stone reaches the earth first. In this case, children, the reason behind is that there is an air resistance. Because of this air resistance, the surface area of the stone, the air resistance on the paper is more as compared to that of the stone. So that is why paper reaches the earth later than that of the stone. But if we perform the same experiment in a jar from which we have sucked out the air, that means there is only vacuum, we have taken out all the air from the jar and we drop both the things, paper and the stone, in the jar from the same height, we will notice that both have reached the bottom of the jar at the same time. So these things are possible when there are ideal conditions. Ideal conditions only there is an influence of gravitational force, no other force is acting on the object. One more thing children, in the case of paper and stone, mass has nothing to do. We know that mass, because in case of acceleration, do we need mass? No, we do not need. Acceleration is equal to v minus u upon t. In that formula there is no mass, so mass has nothing to do with the stone falling early or the paper falling late. The reason behind that paper falling late and stone falling early is the difference in their surface area and the air resistance exerted by the air on both the objects. This is the reason. So children, I hope this topic is clear to you. This is how we can calculate the value of a small g, children, in the exam. Now, in spite of using the word A for the vertical motion, keep this thing in your mind, all the objects which are in vertical motion, for those types of object, we are not going to take acceleration as A, we will write acceleration as g, and the value of that g will always remain constant, if that is 9.8 meter per second square, if that object is on the earth or near the earth. I hope it is clear. Next time we'll do the numerical related to this, and one more topic to be covered from this lesson, and then this lesson will be done. Thank you, children.